The Monster of the Andes. A true story of unfathomable evil. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the rural towns and bustling cities of Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru became the hunting grounds of Pedro Alonso Lopez, a serial killer so prolific and depraved he earned the title Monster of the Andes. Confessing to the murders of over 300 young girls, some as young as 8, Lopez lured his victims with promises of gifts, only to rape and strangle them in secluded fields or shantytowns. Arrested in 1980, his chilling confessions shocked the world, but his release in 1998 and subsequent disappearance leave a lingering dread. This case, one of history's deadliest, exposes a predator who thrived in chaos and a system that failed to contain him. How could one man kill so many unnoticed, and where is he now? The Monster of the Andes is a harrowing saga of unimaginable horror and justice undone. The terror began in 1978, though Lopez later claimed he started killing in 1973. Born in Colombia in 1948 to a violent, impoverished family, Lopez was abused and homeless by age 8, shaping a path of rage. By the late 1970s, he roamed the Andes, targeting girls in markets or slums, areas teeming with poverty and little oversight. His method was simple, yet devastating. He'd offer candy or money, lead girls to isolated spots, and strangle them after assault, burying their bodies in shallow graves. He claimed to kill 3 girls a week, often in daylight, exploiting the region's social turmoil and weak policing. The first documented case surfaced in Ambato, Ecuador, in 1979, when multiple girls vanished from markets. In March 1980, a flood near Ambato unearthed dozens of skeletal remains, sparking panic. Weeks later, Lopez was caught in a sting operation after attempting to abduct a 10-year-old girl. Under interrogation, he confessed to over 300 murders across 3 countries, detailing each with chilling detachment. He led police to 53 graves in Ecuador, where decomposed bodies matched his descriptions, though many were too degraded for identification. Forensic evidence, rope marks, broken hyoid bones, confirmed strangulation. Ecuadorian authorities convicted Lopez in 1980 for 110 murders, the maximum provable, sentencing him to 16 years, the country's lenient maximum for murder at the time. His confessions painted a gruesome picture. He targeted girls aged 8 to 12, preferring those with innocent eyes, and killed to free them from a cruel world. He described luring victims in broad daylight, often near crowds, and digging graves in advance. Police found no fingerprints or DNA, as Lopez used his hands or ropes, and rain washed away traces. The sheer scale, potentially 350 victims, staggered investigators, with some graves never found due to remote locations. The case's horror lies in its details. Lopez claimed to hold parties with his victims' bodies, propping them up for tea before burial, a ritual suggesting deep psychosis. He memorized burial sites, revisiting them to ensure they remained hidden. Survivors, rare but documented, described a soft-spoken man 5'7", with dark hair and a disarming smile, blending into markets as a peddler. His mobility across borders, exploiting lax record-keeping and civil unrest, made tracking him nearly impossible. Some victims were never reported missing, their families too poor or displaced to notice. The investigation exposed systemic failures. Police in Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru rarely coordinated, and missing girls were dismissed as runaways or trafficking victims, common in the Andes' economic despair. Indigenous and mestizo communities, hit hardest, lacked access to authorities, and corruption sidelined cases. Lopez's trial was a media circus, with his calm demeanor, smirking as he recounted kills, fueling public outrage. Yet, Ecuador's laws allowed his release in 1994, reduced for good behavior. Deported to Colombia, he was briefly institutionalized, then freed in 1998 after a psychiatric evaluation deemed him sane. He vanished, with no confirmed sightings since. Theories about Lopez's fate vary. Some believe he resumed killing, possibly in Brazil or Bolivia, where similar unsolved cases emerged. Others suspect he died, given his age, 77 in 2025, and transient lifestyle. A few theorize he was killed by vigilantes, as families vowed revenge. No evidence confirms additional murders, but Interpol keeps an open file, and cold cases in South America are periodically linked to him. The lack of victim IDs, most remain Jane Doe's, hampers closure, as does the destruction of graves by floods or development. The monster of the Andes reshaped the Andes' social fabric. Parents barred children from markets, and communities formed watch groups. The case, though less known globally, inspired documentaries and a 2023 Netflix series amplifying calls for justice. Families of the missing, especially in Ecuador, hold annual vigils, their grief compounded by Lopez's freedom. The Andes' vast landscapes, from shanty towns to misty highlands, hide countless graves, a silent testament to his rampage. Today, the monster of the Andes is a resolved yet open wound, with 110 confirmed victims and hundreds more possible, but a killer who walked free. The markets of Ambato and beyond buzz with life, but the echo of lost girls lingers. Was Lopez a lone demon, a product of a broken system, or a nightmare still at large? The Andes keep his secrets, their winds carrying the weight of an evil unbound. If you enjoyed this videos, follow me, like, share and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you.